Word. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 232 of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
I'm the executioner, Daniel Travis.
I am Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable the Unbreakable. I am trying to find Google Docs to remind me what the topic is. Oh, right, our opinions on the not first, the trailer for Batman Knightfall Part 1, I think 3, because I read somewhere that this will be like the fourth trilogy in the history of DC movies.
Now, my first thoughts is I'm just gonna jump in anyway. Is the first part of Nightfall? It's not really gonna be like an interesting story. It's just gonna be chaos
People
from the very
breaking out
beginning.
of Arkham, Batman, Robin, Nightwing trying to start stuff.
Well,
Why am I struggling with words?
so basically, if you know the comics, Bane breaks everyone out of Arkham, and Batman is gonna get exhausted and that his back is gonna get broken. Because, okay, for those of you that don't know what this story is, if everyone remembers what Bane did to what Bane did to Batman in The Dark Knight Rises,
I will break you.
yes, that. Essentially, it's look, there are two rules in DC Comics. Every time you introduce Doomsday, Superman must die.
And every time you introduce Bane, Batman must attend a very, very, very angry at him chiropractor named Bane.
Yes. So
Well,
essentially,
you can describe it that way. In reality, the rule is Bane must break Batman's back.
yes, because see the reason this happens is because when background story of both characters, when Doomsday made his debut, he killed Superman. Kind of.
Healing coma, but that's comic book language for dead, but we're gonna bring him back because he's the first superhero comic and we can't afford to lose that revenue stream.
You have Bane, who was just, we need a new villain for Batman to face. Okay, so we'll just make up an angry luchador.
Yeah, and have him have a fear of giant humanoid bats. Just completely ignoring that there's a character called Man-Bat. We're gonna make him a villain for Batman instead of an ally. And later we're
Yeah,
gonna have a storyline where he thinks Thomas Wayne might be his dad, meaning he broke the back of his potential brother.
yes. But overall, I mean, like, what is your thoughts on the trailer in general?
I enjoyed it. It looks like by the end of part one, we're gonna have Azrael as Batman, judging by the silhouette at the end of the trailer.
Yes. Now, my question is this. Now, my question is just, I think this movie is going to be 100% rated R. Because if you're having John
Yeah, most likely.
Because let's be real, guys. If you're introducing John Paul Valley as Batman, or in general in this universe, you are gonna have John Paul Valley be more violent than the actual Batman himself.
Now, question for you, my co host.
What's that?
Do you think this is going to be similar to The Long Halloween, where it is almost a one-to-one panel recreation, or are they going to take some creative liberties?
Great question. Now,
I mean, creative liberties, in my opinion, are unavoidable, but that
yes.
doesn't mean they can't have similarities to other media.
Now, for example, what Matthew was talking about, folks, is the in the Long Halloween, it was basically there was three differences. Okay, three. One, Selena Kyle knew who Bruce Wayne was. That's not a thing.
Yeah. The
Number
other one
two,
was Johnny Vitti getting,
married.
yeah, that was in the movie, he was not getting married.
No. Number three, there was no mention of the Riddler at all.
Not one.
Yeah, but overall, because I actually looked up the cast. Fun fact for you: this is the same guy that was Batman. This is the same guy that voiced him all the way back in that really terrible Injustice movie. Same dude.
Really? No wonder I
Yes.
didn't like the voice. They should have done Bruce Greenwood. They could have connected
But
this to the Under the Red Hood movie,
but
which takes
but
place
hang
after
on,
the
hang on, hang on, hang
interactive
on.
Death
But
in the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Family.
yeah. But Bane is being played by the guy who play is going to be playing Scorpion in the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, I did not realize that. I looked
Yes.
up the cast and got a Google AI answer, which isn't always reliable.
No. But overall, I mean, look, do I want this movie to take creative liberties? Yes. No, I mean, honestly, little bit of creative liberties, not a lot.
And it seems like they're making Riddler a big threat during this movie,
Yeah, because he said it's
judging
like,
by how he was portrayed in the trailer, which is the only thing we have to base this off of. Nightfall Part 1 has not released yet, people.
yes. But overall, like, do I think, my thought is, I want this movie, because, like, when Batman gets his back broken by Bane in this part, I want Bane to absolutely give Batman the worst beating that he's ever felt in I don't know how many years this version of Batman's been active.
Well, considering he's on his third Robin, and we know Dick wasn't like Dick became Nightwing probably in his late teens. Jason lasted like what 3 years comic time, which is not
Yes.
long in real time. So let's say Dick was Robin from like age 8 to 17, so 9 years. Then Jason, let's just go 3 years because I don't know the exact time and I'm too lazy to Google it. Tim would have honestly probably just started out. So he's been Batman for like a little over 10 years.
And also, this does raise the question is, what decade does this movie take place in?
Fair point. The trailer gives us no context to that. But considering Azrael is probably going to have his blue bat suit, I'm going to say the 90s.
Yeah,
If you know, you know.
yes. Now, do I Now, okay, what I want from this movie is I want them to show how dangerous Bane is. Not just like I want them to show how dangerous Bane is with and without the venom in this movie. Show 'em how much of a because show how intelligent Bane is because that's not really a side of Bane that really gets explored a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him getting juiced up in the trailer.
Yes. Now, what's your thoughts on everyone's designs? Let's just ask that.
Okay, let's start off with Batman. Pretty good. I don't think I can judge Robin yet since we've only seen him from the side.
Fair.
Nightwing, good. John Paul, whatever his name is. I don't know if it's
Double
John or
Valley.
John. Okay, he looked good as Azrael. We don't know what he looks like as Batman aside from a silhouette.
Yes.
Bane, accurate. Riddler, okay, I guess. I don't remember if we saw Joker. I only watched the trailer once and it was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, Joker's in it one scene. One
Yeah, he
scene.
looked good, I guess. Honestly, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do this.
Yes. Now, what do you want from this movie? Do you want this movie to be accurate, and do you want them to take creative liberties? And if so, what creative liberties should they take or should they avoid?
I want it to be accurate with little sprinkles of creative liberties and Easter eggs.
Okay, like
Meaning
what
that
do you,
I don't want a one-to-one recreation. But at the same time, I do want some similarities to the movie or
Yeah,
comic.
now, what I want is part one. You don't really, you could stick to a little bit more of the source material for
I mean, it's just Batman, Robin, and Nightwing locking people in Arkham for three
or
days
try.
without any sleep. At least
Yeah,
for Batman, not any sleep.
yes. The only creative liberty I think that needs to be taken is think they need to show the psychological depths of Jean Paul's mind wiping
Brainwashing.
brainwashing from the cult of Saint Dumas, and I think they need to show how much of a dumb decision Batman was giving it. I need them to explain why it was such a dumb decision for Batman to give it to him versus
Yeah,
Nightwing.
yeah, I would like to know why. I would like to see a moment where Batman's like, I should never have given my mantle to that psychopath working for the Order of Saint Dumas.
The hell was I thinking?
And for the record, people, if you don't want to wait for the animated movie of Knightfall to come out and you just want to see an adaptation of it, there is a one-to-one recreation Lego stop motion on YouTube. I
Full
just
2 hour,
remembered that.
full 2 hour movie.
Yeah, so if you want to see a Nightfall adaptation in Lego, go on YouTube and type in Batman Nightfall stop motion.
It's actually very well done.
I haven't watched the full thing, but I might to get prepared for Nightfall coming out, what, next month? Part
I
1?
don't know when. I don't know. But overall, what I think of this movie is, look, now I also want this movie to give I also want this movie to show a lot more of Tim Drake. Don't just be like, "Hi, I'm Tim Drake. I'm kind of just here." Give him an actual plot.
Yeah, and for the record, people, as far as I know, this will not be Tim's first time in animation, but it will be his first time in like a main role in it. Like, yeah, he's been in Young Justice, but after season 1, or not season 1, yeah, season 2, he was kind of written off the show working for Batman Inc. And he's been those weird Batman ones where I don't even know how to
Animals.
describe.
The ones with the animals.
Yeah, and it was also in the one where two people time traveled from the future. At least I think
Uh,
that was him because of the other Bo stuff.
yeah. Now, what I think they need to do for what I think is, I think you also need to explore what, also, is Alfred alive in this?
Probably. He doesn't die in Nightfall.
No, but what I would like to see from this movie is I would like, okay, now for creative liberties, I definitely would not mind a creative, and I 100% am all for this. I want them to do a creative liberty of how they fix Bruce Wayne's back.
That probably is a discussion we'll have to have closer to part 3 rather than part 1.
Yes. But overall, I mean, am I looking forward to this movie? Yes. Do I hope it should be accurate? Maybe. I would like, but here's the thing. If they do comic book changes, I would like it where they do it where it's like, you're like, okay, that makes sense. I don't want creative liberties where you're just like, wait, what? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I don't know why we're doing 5 plus now. We got like 13 minutes left on the clock.
All right, I mean, hey,
And
if you want to,
I will say I did see a short on YouTube from the Panda Red pretty much explain what we've already said, how this will mainly just be Batman, Robin, and Nightwing locking people in Arkham.
or try, well, how can they if there's a giant hole in the asylum?
It'll get fixed, dummy. And
Yeah.
and he said he'll be excited for more like part 2 and 3 because that's where the actual story is, believe it or not. And
Yeah,
honestly, if I can be frank for a second,
yes,
I hope there's a deluxe edition because I do not want to buy 3 movies when we learn there's going to be a deluxe edition of all 3 parts coming out. Last time
I
I
could
made
also,
that mistake, it was Reign of the Supermen.
yeah, but overall, now, okay, let's talk about this. What creative liberties, if you were in charge of of giving this Nightfall movie, what creative liberties would you take, and what things would you not take?
I would have more than just Arkham blown up. I would also do Blackgate just to make sure Batman is exhausted. when he returns to Wayne Manor.
Yes, I also would like from Arkham, from this Nightfall movie, I would like Batman. I would like to show a the side of. I would like to show the effects of Batman spending 3 straight days, or however many days it was. Batman just. I would like to see him take a beat of a punishment, not just from. I would like if Batman spent 3 days, I would like Batman to take a bit more of a beating over those next 3 straight days to show how by the time he comes to Bane, he's been battered and exhausted.
Yeah, I would say like I would like Batman to take power naps, but or like about to, then he gets an alert of a crime and is like, oh my god, fine, I'll take care of it and just power nap at another bat bunker I have in Gotham.
Yeah, and also please explore the relationship with Batman and Dick in this world.
Yeah, yeah, definitely do that. I would actually like part three to be a combination of Night Sin and Batman Prodigal.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now, what I would like them to do is, should they? Now, the big question I have is, when Batman takes back the cowl, should it just be making Sean Paul Valley take off his suit like what it actually is, or should it be a lot more of a Bruce is gonna have to do this shit the hard way, or do a bit of both?
I don't know. That's why it's always hard when DC makes movies that are comic adaptations because comic book fans, despite being one of the most toxic fandoms in pop culture, also sometimes love accuracy and but at the same time
Don't.
want creative liberties to be taken for stuff that doesn't doesn't make sense.
No, my thought is to add what you said is look, I don't mind when creative liberties are taken in this Nightfall movie or any DC animated movie, but I'll use Nightfall as the main example here is that I don't mind if they do creative changes, but it needs to make sense. Don't just do creative
Yeah,
changes
I
for
think there's one thing we're ignoring that we should probably discuss being a creative liberty that might need to be taken despite it making comic book logic sense because there is no logic in comic.
what's that?
How Batman's back gets repaired.
Yeah. Now in the comics, and I will tell everybody because, and I wish I was making this up. So Batman was being taken care of by Doctor Consolving, some random woman that he had, not for some reason Leslie Tompkins, although that would be a smarter choice. He basically, her and Tim Drake's father both get abducted. Batman has to go save their butts from her brother. I'm not. Then she had some unknown telekinetic powers. Her and her brother get into a telekinetic bat, and Batman's back is healed.
So she fixes Batman's back
But then also
by
loses, and then
fighting her brother with telekinesis.
but then also by doing that, then loses her mind back to a 3-year-old. Like that's an actual thing that happened.
Okay, yeah, maybe remove the 3-year-old part so Batman doesn't have to be like, well, thank you so much for saving me, because that's the only thing she would understand.
Yes. Now look, how do you think they should fix Batman's back?
I have no idea. And this isn't the first time we've seen comics have people get their back repaired from paralysis. Barbara in Injustice had a chip put in so she could walk again. Barbara's paralysis was temporary in the new 52. Obviously, we just talked about Batman, but
There's also There's also when Zoom broke Barry's back in in Flash.
yeah, and that was temporary because of Speed Force healing.
Yeah.
The point is, the easiest way I can see it is Batman's back paralysis, whatever you want to call it, paralyzation, is temporary, but that is a little unsatisfying.
Yeah, cause that's the one that's the one part of the story where you're just like, that's the now there's 2 parts creative liberties I want. One, I want them to show, like, how quickly Jean Paul two. One, John Paul Valley quickly loses his mind. Two, I would like them to come up with a more creative way to fix Batman's back other than what it actually was in the comic books.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost wishful thinking, you know?
Yes.
Because does it make comic book logic for Batman's back to get repaired by, by a telekinetic battle that reduces his doctor's mind to that of a toddler?
No.
Surprisingly, yes.
I mean,
But
yes,
does
it
that mean
makes
they're gonna change it? No.
no.
Because in the end, you need to remember this is a comic book movie. You need to take the real world science, math, and logic and yeet it out the window. How? I just hit my feeding pump.
But overall, it's just like, yeah, make it make look. And if you do change it, make it make sense.
I agree.
Okay, that's all you got any more thoughts? What we
No, I
got?
can start the timer because we got like 220 on it.
Okay, now my final thoughts are I am very much looking forward to this movie. I'm hoping that that it is accurate, but at the same time, like I said, creative liberties that make sense. Not just creative liberties for the sake of creative liberties.
Yeah, that's a good point, to be honest.
But I do now. Am I looking forward to this movie? Yes, of course. But because it also, and I also want this movie, yes, to be faithful, but also to be a little different. And also that this just also raises one question: is this movie is this just going to be a 3-part movie, or is this going to be the launch of a new animated movie universe?
I have no idea.
That's my last thought. Yours?
My final thoughts are I just want the movie to be good. If it's just a beat 'em up with Batman, Robin, Nightwing beating up criminals, I'm okay with that. I'm excited for parts 2 and 3 so we can see the depth of how royally bad Azrael is at being the Dark Knight. Hold the greatest detective part. And like, because let's face it, he is not a detective. At least
N-
not by the end of it.
nope.
But we'll have to see how part 1 is when
It
it drops,
releases.
like, what, next month or something?
I don't know.
At some point this year.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram and X, link in the description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, link is also in the description. Also, subscribe to our website, again, link in description.
All links in descriptions.
Yeah. We will be back next week with more debates and discussions and hopefully the results of the predictions. But until then, the executioner and the unbreakable spirit will
We're
still
still
be
at odds.
except not this time because it was pop culture. Deuces.